last night by Machinima, because I like their Facebook page. I haven't really seen any of their stuff. Machinima was big back in the day, like in 2009,
Hmm.
2010. So that's around the time that I liked them. And I saw a post just on my wall. I saw a post on the timeline, whatever the hell it's called. I sound like an old fuck that doesn't know what he's talking about. But I saw a Facebook post made by Machinima talking about how those videos on Facebook. It's typically like videos that SJWs make where it just has like text in it and shitty music and whatever. They had that. Machinima kind of did that, and it was a video with text in it talking about how there's not enough diversity in video games, and they show like a whole slideshow of all the main video game characters, and they're all white. Like they showed all the characters from, like, they showed Nathan Drake, they showed whatever her name is from Horizon Zero Dawn, and they're all white. Like all the characters they show are white, 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 white. And how this is a problem because it's a problem that the industry is only marketing towards straight white men. And the only thing I'm thinking about is like, wait, aren't aren't most of the people that buy video games straight white men? So, like, for them to market it towards the majority of their gamers, to have most of the characters white male makes,
Or white female.
at least from a marketing perspective, makes sense to me, right? And to say that this is a huge problem, like, why do you care about diversity in video games? Like, why do all the main characters have to be different colors? I don't understand. Like, why is it such a huge problem?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's nice to see a character in a video game that kind of represents you. I mean, like when the main character, the first Walking Dead, was black, like I thought that was kind of cool, but it wasn't something that stuck out to me, and I was like, oh, he's black. I was just like,
Yeah,
a main
notice
character.
nobody complained about that at all. So to say that, oh, the entire gaming community is racist or white
Yeah,
supremacist, nobody gave a shit about Lee being black, or about,
no,
actually, the character in the new Walking Dead game is also black. Like, they have an FPS co-op game coming out soon,
who
and
does?
I forget. It's in a Walking Dead game.
Telltale?
Overkill. That's the name of the company.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones who made, I believe, what did they make? I need to look that up actually, because they actually made like a really successful game. So you know what they're coming out with is going to be good. Overkill.
Hmm.
Let me look them up on my slow ass computer. Overkill. They made the Payday series, so you know that they're pretty good.
Oh,
So the
yeah,
same people
yeah.
who made Payday are making the new Walking Dead game, and the main character is black. People aren't getting angry. People aren't, what I hate is that if a game character, if a game or any form of entertainment has a main protagonist that is a woman or is a minority, it's kind of like we have to shield those titles from criticism because, well, it's diverse, so it's good enough. You know what I'm talking about? So, like, if you have any criticism towards a game, but it also happens to
Oh,
have a
yeah.
minority as a main character, you, like, kind of, like,
Hmm.
not allowed to criticize it without being called, like, a racist or a supremacist or any any other name in the book, which I find annoying.
That's actually kind of funny because most of the games, and it's funny because that's just most of the games, but most of the games I make fun of or criticize are the ones with those characters. Like when I talked about Titanfall 2, the main voice actor, I didn't like him. I didn't like the voice actor for the main character. He was not very good. And I said the same for Watch Dogs 1. I like the voice actor for Watch Dogs 2, but the dialogue is really cringy, so I won't listen to it. I'll just watch a movie in the background while I'm playing that game. But yeah, it's kind of it's weird because you're, like you were saying, you'll talk about certain things. Like if I didn't like the voice actor for Watch Dogs 2 and I said that would piss people off more than when I said I didn't like the voice actor for the first one, because it's like, we finally got a black guy and you don't like him. It's like, it's not the black guy, it's the voice actor. I don't even care that he's black. Like, just get a good voice actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like now we got
it's fun.
the Black Panther movie that just came out, and it's like pretty much an
Oh yeah.
entirely black cast almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing now is that they are taking down reviews that are against it because they claim to be racist or whatever. So
Good Lord, we
yeah,
can't even have an opinion anymore.
I mean, I
That's
never seen it. It's
ridiculous. And
probably
you know,
it might be
I
a good
actually,
movie because I mean I like a lot of the cast members, so it might actually be really good. And I mean, I mean, it's kind of cool that they have like a whole cast of people that they I guess can identify with, right? Me with the whole
yeah,
identify with thing, I kind of find silly. Like, I don't care if the character is a white guy or a black guy, because they're always in situations where like, how am I supposed to relate to them anyway? Like, they're killing zombies and they're fucking superheroes and shit. Like, yeah, I'm not a fucking superhero. You know what I mean? So like, what I can't really identify with them because they are nothing like me. If that makes any sense, but.
no, exactly.
I just think it's
I
silly though how
remember,
we, something's racist automatically, even though like people actually have legitimate criticism against the title. But whatever. I mean, like that Ghostbusters movie, that's an all female cast. Oh, you can't criticize that, even though it was a fucking awful movie. I just hate that. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was saying that I saw a video the other day. It was an interview with um, Brandon T. Jackson, and they were talking about the movies that he's been in, and he's been in some really um, like what would you say, non-politically correct movies, like, and they were talking with him like, what is the biggest, like, do you ever read the comments or listen to the people when they get upset about maybe some of the racist stuff that happens in your movies? And he goes, no, I don't ever read the comments because it stops us from what we're doing. People are getting ridiculous with this. Like, I was in a movie, and if you any of you out there remember, he was in Tropic Thunder as he played the, and it was funny, he didn't play the token black guy. He played the second token black guy. Robert Downey Jr. played the token black guy, which
Oh yeah,
Robert Downey
people
Jr., as
people
you
were
know,
very angry
is a
about
white
that.
guy.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a funny movie. It's not my kind of movie. It was just okay for me, but I watched it and it was funny. It was stupid. But Robert Downey Jr. played a black guy, and nobody at the time had a problem with it. If they were to make that movie today, people would have a problem with it.
Well, people have a problem with it
And
now. Years later, people talk about it now. But back then,
oh
he was
yeah.
winning awards and stuff. These days, he wouldn't get any
Oh yeah.
awards. He'd be
No,
a
he would have been
racist.
yeah, for putting on blackface. He'd have been racist. But the thing is, he's like, no, I will not read these comments, because not a single time when Robert Downey Jr. put on that blackface did I sit there and think, oh, what a racist thing he's doing. I laughed at him. Like, me and him are buddies. Like, we love each other. Like, he
Oh
was,
man.
what did he say? I was at his birthday the other day. Like, we were hanging out. Like, I love that guy. And it just, I do not read the comments because it will hinder our performance. And it's something that really stuck with me, because I was like, I read all the comments, and sometimes that does, some of the comments will hit me pretty hard. I don't take all of them seriously. But then I think, how hard is it for me to say the wrong thing, quotation marks around that phrase? And these people who are upset about every tiny thing can just shut you down, and they will. When X-Men Apocalypse came out, there was this big poster of the villain holding Mystique by the throat.
Oh yeah.
And a woman named Rose McGowan, some feminist, some nobody feminist, complained about it. She didn't like the depiction of sexism in the poster, and the studio behind it took it down and apologized for the sexism, which
Wow.
didn't exist. But it really sucks, because they think they're doing well.
I love how.
They're doing something for America, or they're just ruining crap.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't say what we want to say. And no matter, what we try to do to stay sane, I always wonder about that inevitable point where I make someone mad and they just chew me up and spit me out off the internet. I'm just gone
Oh, dude,
because they didn't like what I said.
just wait for it. The bigger you
There
get,
are
the
people
more
who
of a
say,
target you are. I'm just telling you.
oh, I know. I
People are
know.
gonna call you a
You're
white supremacist or whatever eventually. You
Yep.
know, because you're you're fucking white boy in a rural area. You're automatically a fucking racist. By default.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, that's the thing. Doesn't matter how much I love black people. Doesn't matter how much I love any people of any color. It doesn't.
but what pisses me
Uh,
off is that especially in the movie, or just entertainment in general, for so many years they've been pushing for women to be better represented. They used to just be like Princess Peach in a castle, like always being defenseless, but yet they're put
mhm.
in they're put in a precarious position, like Mystique being choked, and they lose their shit. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
wait,
yeah. She was like
I thought you
in the
wanted them to
position.
be portrayed in an equal way. Well, men get choked too, or like even in
Yeah.
like real life, like men are drafted to the military, and then a few years
Hmm.
ago they passed like a law that women are also part of the draft. Oh no, that's not equality or whatever. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like that's not cool. It's like, wait, are you kidding right now? What do you mean that's not cool?
It's
Yeah,
just
that's.
blows my mind. And what also like really annoys me, so when like they do reboots of a game or a movie or a show, whatever it may be, and then the character is like a different race, right?
Hmm.
So like, or even like in a movie, like where the
Oh,
role,
and it feels like it's
or
pandering
like where
to the
Scarlett
audience.
Johansson played an Asian, for example, or like when a white person portrays a minority, it's awful and it's cancer and it's racist. But if a minority, like a black Hermione from Harry Potter, she's black in the Broadway play now. That's great. It's promoting diversity, even though you're kind of like ruining the way that the character. You know what I mean? Like the way the
Yeah.
character is supposed to be, because a character's race and gender is like a huge part of them. Believe it or not.
Oh, because of especially in okay, because I can see that, especially in those kinds of like if you're going into some sort of um oh man, Lord of the Rings scenario, right?
Yeah.
Or oh, what was it? What was it? They made jokes about it. Westworld. They made jokes about it in the movie. They're like some black guy's the sheriff, and he's like, yeah, you got a problem with that? He's like, yeah, that
Oh,
doesn't
Blazing
actually make
Saddles. Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the movie.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Blazing Saddles. They're like, they make fun of it in the movie because it's not historically accurate, So if you had like, I don't know. So I can understand that for like, um, regional accuracy, historical accuracy. I wouldn't want to see a movie
Yeah.
set in the 1800s where black people have black slaves, you know, because they just play white characters, but they're not white; they're just black. It'd be weird,
Or like having a
but
black president in the 1800s or something, or having
yeah,
like,
yeah,
just something that just obviously didn't happen back then. But if they don't have enough diversity, like in Game of Thrones, for example, they complain there's not enough diversity. But the world of Game of Thrones is based like the place that they're in. It's inspired by
hmm
European medieval. They probably didn't even know what an African looked like back then. You know,
no.
Africans didn't live in Europe.
I'm I'm glad they do in like video games that take place in the future or TV shows that take place in the future. They always have like a woman president or a black president. I always appreciate that. Like that's fine because that just shows like this is America
Well,
and
now that's
America
realistic.
doesn't, like I like that. But when it feels forced in, that's when it's a problem. Like if I'm sitting there playing a video game and all the characters are like I don't really know how to explain it. I think I'd have to give examples, and I don't really have any off the top of my head. But I I I know it when I see it, and it feels wrong. It's never ruined anything for me. I remember Ghostbusters. People were saying that all the women in Ghostbusters that ruined it for them, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know if that was actually a problem.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the media and a lot of industries do seem to pander really heavily to these people. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for a company to just go, shut up and let us do what we're doing. Just if you're not even a customer, don't be a customer. Go somewhere else. You know, like we don't care. We're selling a product or we're selling a media and we have a story to tell. Deal with it. If you don't like it, don't watch. Like
Yeah.
that would just I'm sold. I want to watch your movie. I probably wouldn't have before. I want to watch it now. Like that's right there is admiration. That's passion.
Hmm. Yeah, that
It's
machinima
just
post that I talked about before, it has like, you know, Facebook has the reactions you like, and you have the laugh reaction and the heart reaction. You know what I'm talking about, right?
mm-hmm.
Everyone pretty much angry reacted to that post. Like, we're not having that shit. Sorry. And I saw
Yeah.
Machinima responding
Which
to people's comments, calling them Nazis and racists. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people? And you worry, and you wonder why your websites are dying. You know, why IGN is dying, why GameSpot is dying. I mean, it has obviously a lot to do with YouTube, you know, and YouTubers, and them being honestly more entertaining than reading an article and watching rigged reviews, you know, of games that get 9 out of 10s, even though the people who play the game think it's worth a lot less than that. You know what I'm talking about.
mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, they go out and try to promote a political agenda in an industry where most people want to just play their games. They don't give a fuck about politics. So why are you forcing it on them? I don't understand. Like with
That's
the
the
whole
worst,
Gamergate
too.
situation, like, oh my god, don't even get me started.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's the worst when they do that. And it sucks because again, like look at the amount of people who are playing your games that are underage that don't care about this kind of thing. You know, why would you shove that in there? You know, just focus on making a good game. Focus on telling a good story. Don't worry about putting our political bullcrap in the midst of, because I know you want to get your opinions out there and you can do that, but do it in a different way. Go write a book, you know? Do something else. Don't shoehorn it into stuff that it doesn't need to be in. We're just in a different media wanting to have fun.
yeah, it's pretty much these video
And
game journalists are all of a sudden political scientists. That's like what it feels like to me.
that's
It's ridiculous. Like,
everyone's jumping on it.
you can't escape politics
Everyone's
no matter
jumping.
where you go.